Hustle Show. So we are continuing our discussion last week with our guest, our lovely guest, Julie. And we did talk about well-being, its significance, and the types of well-being, and how COVID-19 has affected our well-being in these present times and days. This program is sponsored by Gladys Essentials, the Gloria Hassel Foundation, Kane Pharmacy, and SunnyTV. So we'll continue from where we left off. Hi, Julie.
Hi there, Gloria. So, and actually, I think statistics show that poorer people give more to charities than rich people.
Yeah, I think the rich mindset is like they want. I think there's a bit of greed.
Yeah.
A bit of greed, like get more, keep, keep.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, there are rich people who give as well.
Yes.
They've got all these NGOs. They're helping people. So but I know what you mean. I think people trying to get rich. Maybe when they get rich, then they give. But when they want to get rich, then it's less giving, more greed, and keep hoarding just so the figures go up. I think
absolutely. Yeah. And as we said, all of these things come under God, really, don't they? And just perhaps the last area of well-being is what we could call vocational. And when we say vocational, I think we think of perhaps certain careers. Oh, that's a vocation, like being a doctor or a nurse or something like this. But I think a vocation is just having a sense that our life is worth something, and that we have a purpose, a reason to get out of bed in the morning. So it doesn't have to be a great master plan in any way, but just believing that God has a purpose for our lives, believing that, and then seeking Him for it. But I do know one or two people maybe who say, I don't know what God's plan is for my life, and they almost waste their life. They miss the everyday opportunities because they're waiting for one thing to come from heaven to say, this is your vocation, and it's not always like that.
But the thing is, I think with God, He doesn't give you the one thing. I think when you are with God, He gives you multiple skills. I believe that. Yeah. Anyone who is close with God and follows the lead, of God, like you said, leave things in God's. Honestly, they always have multiple things you're doing, because I don't think God is going to give you one gift. There's always something to do. God is very dynamic, and He's always got new things. His mind is just like, move there, do that, and add that. He gives. So you find your life just going in different dimensions.
And I think we like the familiar, and I think sometimes something that was our vocation, maybe it was a job that God really wanted you to do, He wanted you to be in that place, but we just got used to it, we just got comfortable, and actually we're not that happy there. And maybe 5 years ago God was trying to move you on, but we didn't listen.
Oh, right.
But I think you're right, God does different things at different times of our life. And of course it's not just about paid work. I mean, to be a good mother, a good parent, that's a vocation. And I think even if some people just have a job that is a bit of a rubbish job, actually it's not that great, but the vocation is to still do it well, still do it to glorify God, and I'm doing this to put food on the table for my family, and that's the vocation. Might not be the job, but why we're doing it is the vocation.
But think about it, I believe that if God gives you the little and you do it well, that's when He's going to add more. If you're not being a good mom, which God expects you to be, it's an expectation. He gave you that child. He expects you to look after that child in His way, in a godly way, so the child becomes a good adult. So if you're not being a good mom, I don't know, you failed really, haven't you?
Yes, it's whatever situation we're in, however humble it is. I mean, it's perhaps I should say this, but sometimes you go into a supermarket or something, and there's somebody doing maybe a bit of a low-paid job, and they're just not helpful.
Their attitude.
They're just, and you think, well, okay, I know it's not the greatest job in the world, but take a pride in it. Do it well.
That's how you can grow.
Yes, treat the customers well, and they'll probably end up, getting promoted and whatever. But no, it's
you'd be surprised. You might even make friends on that job if you're nice to customers. Honestly,
that's right.
God works in so many mysterious ways. A customer, you might just be nice to a customer, and they could even help you get another job.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they could recommend another job to you. It's just do your best wherever you are, and that's how you
God
grow.
Will bless that.
That's it. God looks down and He sees your attitude. That smiley, bubbly, cheerful, grateful attitude, and He goes, "Oh, I'm loving this child.
Yes.
Move them there. Move them on.
That's right.
But if you're dull and grumpy, that's ungratefulness because someone wants your job.
You can't do much with you.
Someone wants your job. Have you heard that story where what was it? I think someone was gonna hang himself. I think because he had nothing or whatever, and then the other person saw him, and then he thought, I want what you have. Like, he had nothing. I think he thought his life was bad, but then he looked down, saw someone else, and thought, oh gosh, I'm better off. Yeah. And then he changed his mind.
Yeah. So it comes back to the gratitude again.
That's it. It don't matter how bad you think your situation is or where you are, you're always better off than someone. And also, there is hope. You can only get better when you're that low. There's a saying as well, you can only rise when you're down. You can't go any downer than you are. You can only go up. So
you can only go up.
Do you know what I mean? So have that hope that you're definitely going to go up.
So yes, and maybe just the final thought would be a good way to sort of close it really. I think when it comes to vocation, think of every single day as having a special vocation. That every time you wake up in the morning, think, Lord, guide me to somebody you want me to speak to, or may I recognise that there's something you want me to do today. And it doesn't matter how humble our job is, or whether we're not even at work, whether we're even at home, whatever, that to listen to those prompts, that every single day our life has a purpose and our life is worth living.
I think it's the best way to live, like hearing those prompts. And that's how to get the best out and the most out of your life. If you can hear those prompts. Because when you're talking earlier, you said people miss out on opportunities because they probably never knew what God wanted for them, or what they needed to do or had to do with their lives. And they wake up one day and thought, oh, I never knew what I was supposed to do. But if you've got that relationship with God, He's going to speak to you. And to be honest with you, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear that audible voice, or you're going to have that intuition, that your instincts. God uses different ways to get you there, or He's going to use someone to just speak to you, like we spoke earlier.
Absolutely.
And you're just going to know this is God. Because you probably have doubts and you're asking the questions, and then someone's just going to come speak to you and answer that question, and you just know that this is God. So
absolutely. So and it actually comes full circle, doesn't it? We can do so much to help our own well-being, but at the end of the day, we do need God in our life to be whole people,
to depend on, because you can't do it on your own. It's too hard, isn't it? It's too hard.
It's way too hard.
That's why He said, cast your burdens unto me, because it's too heavy for you. You can't do it. You need to leave it to Him. Stop worrying about it and leave it. He'll take care of it.
I think something I learned fairly recently really was to leave God to do God's job.
And
we need to do our job. So yes, it's that balance, isn't it? I can't leave it all to Him. But I can't take it all upon myself either.
Of course, it's too heavy then.
It's too heavy. And I think, to be honest, it's why I felt this was quite an important thing, because I was very much into sort of like doing our alpha courses at church and this sort of thing. And they'd gone online, and a lot of people were doing alpha courses online. I felt guilty that I wasn't really doing. I just couldn't feel a thing for that. And I think it was because God was saying it's well-being. That's the thing the church needs to be. Absolutely. And I just kept seeing these different courses, sort of church-based courses, and looking at them and thinking. I mean, there was one I think was really good, but it was almost like the Christian bit was an optional add-on if you wanted it. I thought, no, I'm not into that. But this one, it's called the Well-being Journey that we're doing currently with the house group. And hopefully our new vicar will be keen on it. I want to run it in church.
He should really. I think it's important.
People need it.
I think it's really important. Because especially in these times, it's so tough. I think people need this to keep going, to keep taking over.
Well, that's right, and I think it's also something that the nature of it's so useful that you could easily invite a non-Christian friend. And say, particularly so you've got a friend who's struggling a bit. You can say, we're doing this course at church, and I'm sure they would benefit. And they've also got the gospel bit sort of. It's there.
I like the way you're integrating the gospel bit.
It's not in your face.
Most people don't do that.
It's not in your face, but it's Well, I wasn't keen on anything where it's a really good course and it'll help people's well-being, but it never mentions Jesus. I'm not doing that.
That's really great, Julie. You're doing a fantastic job.
But no, I hope that's helpful. So what do you do with this? What does it actually round it off, as it were?
This is all time we'll have for us. This program is sponsored by Glandis Essentials, Gloria Hassel Foundation, Came Pharmacy, and SunnyTV. So you look after your well-being, look after yourself. If you'd like to sponsor this program, please contact the number on the screen Look after yourself. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.